Being a rapper puts a target on your back, and today we're breaking down the craziest times that famous rappers got pressed by goons. Rick Ross jumped into Kendrick's beef with Drake and was clowning Drake like crazy. All of the dissing that people talking about Ross and kept his name in the headlines, but it also got him jumped when he went to Canada. Rick Ross had a show at a festival in Vancouver, and at the end of the set, he started playing Kendrick's Drake diss, Not Like Us. Ross walked off the stage while the track was still playing, and some Drake fans were waiting to jump him. After it went down, Ross laughed the whole thing off and said he didn't get punched and that someone just hit him with the drink, but he'll probably lay off the dissing the next time he's in Canada. Rappers usually get pressed when they're out on the street, but Ski Mask the Slump God got jumped in the middle of his set. Ski Mask was on tour with Designer, and there was another rapper performing named Rob Stone. The night before Ski Mask got jumped, he was on stage during Rob Stone's set and allegedly got kicked off the stage because he was still in Rob Stone's shine. After that, Ski Mask's homie XXXTentacion went live and said he was gonna put hands on anyone who disrespected Ski Mask.
Ass niggas disrespect my brother, I'm gonna punch y'all in y'all shit, and that's real shit. Fuck this rap shit, nigga. Nigga been off that talking shit cause nigga on probation. But real shit, I let that pussy nigga know I'll slap him in his motherfucking mouth, Rob Cinder Block. I'll slap you in your motherfucking mouth, puss ass nigga.
Then XXX clowned Rob Stone's music and said Ski Mask needed to slap him. Rob Stone clapped back and told XXXTentacion that he wasn't Drake, and then he tagged XXX and Ski Mask and said, "Don't come around here with that bullshit." Then the next night, Rob Stone and his homies jumped Ski Mask in the middle of his set and chased him out of the building. Ski Mask's homies got involved with the situation, and somebody in Rob Stone's crew allegedly stabbed one of Ski Mask's homies in the mouth.
Take a picture, I wanna be famous now. I wanna be famous, fuck.
6ix9ine is one of the most hated rappers in the game, and a lot of goons think he's an easy target. 6ix9ine really started getting checked after he flipped on his crew and snitched. But even before the trial, it was clear that nobody was afraid of him. In February 2018, two dudes spotted 6ix9ine at the LAX airport and wanted to throw hands. 6ix9ine's team got him out of the way. Then they jumped the two guys who pulled up. One of 6ix9ine's homies threw a sucker punch, and when the fight broke out, 6ix9ine ran up and tried to get involved. The goons who pulled up on him were outnumbered like crazy, but they still won the fight and tossed 6ix9ine on the pavement. It wasn't a good look for 6ix9ine and his team, and it turns out that it all started because 6ix9ine had been disrespecting some women that the other dudes knew. Some people still weren't gonna press 6ix9ine because they knew he was rolling with the 9 Treys back then, but a couple months after the fight at LAX, 6ix9ine got pressed and kidnapped by goons in his own crew. In July 2018, 6ix9ine had just shot the music video for his track Fifi with Nicki Minaj. He went to his crib in Brooklyn after the shoot, and that's when 3 9 Trey affiliates kidnapped him at gunpoint and took $750K in jewelry and $35K in cash. 2018 was a tough year for him already, and it was about to get even worse. 6ix9ine showed up at Complex Con in Long Beach, but Slim 400 wouldn't let him inside. After it went down, 6ix9ine had an interview with TMZ and said that Slim 400 was broke.
There's some dirty ass blood members that don't have no money to feed their daughters, no money to feed their sons, running around Pampers, dirty Pampers, hungry.
And Slim clapped back and clowned 6ix9ine for being fake and getting kidnapped.
You don't care about real niggas. You don't look out for time to time. That's why you got kidnapped.
6ix9ine got caught up in a case with the 9 Treys, but he only served a couple of years because he flipped on them. And when he came back to Brooklyn, even random dudes on the street were trying to press him.
Ain't you the big woo? Alright, so move on me. Move on me. Get out the car and move on me. Get out the car and move on me, nigga.
6ix9ine was talking tough to that dude, but he had a lot less to say when some goons jumped him at the gym. Blueface is one of the wildest dudes in the game. Everyone knows he's not afraid to throw hands or even shoot if he needs to, but that didn't stop a crazy goon from trying to press him at the gym. Blueface was getting ready for a boxing match, and while he was training in LA, a random dude walked in and wanted to fight him. Someone else in the gym tried to calm the situation down, but then Blueface swung on the dude and the situation got serious. It didn't get caught on camera, but Blueface said the dude said, "I'm going to kill you," when he walked into the gym. And after Blueface started throwing hands, the other dude pulled out a knife and stabbed Blueface. Luckily, Blueface wasn't seriously hurt, but he still had to cancel his fight because the stab wound didn't heal up in time.
Your boy Lil Reese. Oh no. He shitted on himself.
Hey,
Oh Chris, he shitted on
hey,
himself.
call the niggas right now.
He shitted on himself. He's shitting on himself.
Lil Reese is an OG in the Chicago drill scene, but his career never really popped off like his homies Chief Keef and Lil Durk. Reese also made a lot of headlines for putting hands on women, but nothing was worse for his rep than when he got pressed by some goons and shit himself on camera. Lil Reese was on his way to court when some goons spotted him in the street and jumped him. After it went down, the goons were clowning Lil Reese and talking about how he shit himself, and Reese clapped back and told the dudes to release the video because he didn't shit himself. Nobody knows why Reese did that though, because when the goons dropped the video and proved that Lil Reese got beat up and shit himself on camera, Reese tried to claim that they were fighting in the mud, and that's why it looked like that.
They tried to jump me, shit, but they ain't really even do too much though. It was like really we was tussling and shit. They was trying to get me to the ground. They really couldn't get me to the ground because I was keeping my back on the wall. Little shit like that. And then it was like we was in the mud, fighting in the mud, all type of shit.
But nobody really believed him, and he's been getting clowned over the situation ever since.
That nigga DaBaby in here talking some shit. He walking up on me and shit like he about to do something. What you don't do? What you taking your shit off for?
Punk kill cold heart. I'm the truth, nigga. Knock them out. Me, Dolo. I'm the truth. Quit playing with me, boy. Quit playing with me, boy. Pick your pants up, nigga.
DaBaby is one of the most dangerous dudes in the rap game, and he's already proven that he's ready for smoke. He killed a dude inside a Walmart, busted at some goons who ran up in his crib, and shot another dude in North Carolina who hopped his fence. But in 2018, some dudes in Atlanta still trying to press DaBaby while he was shooting the music video. The goons told DaBaby he was supposed to check in before he came to their hood, but DaBaby said he wasn't checking in with anybody.
Who signed up permission slip?
Ain't nobody signed up permission slip for me. Huh? Oh yeah? I ain't know that. Okay. I fuck with all the little youngins out there. That's cool. Well, they're cool. Hey, well, they're cool. They ain't gotta fuck with me, but I ain't signing no permission slip nowhere. That ain't what I do.
One of the dudes told DaBaby he needed to see a permission slip, but DaBaby said if they wanted to talk to him, then they should have done it with some respect instead of rolling deep and trying to press him. DaBaby was out there with a bunch of music video people who weren't ready for a situation like that, but DaBaby stood his ground even though the other side outnumbered him like crazy. And when DJ Vlad asked DaBaby if the situation could have gone left, DaBaby told him,
the guy was on their side, you know what I mean? It worked out perfect for him.
DaBaby's ready to crash out in public too, and that's why a dude named Cam Coldheart got knocked out in the Louis Vuitton store. Cam Coldheart was trying to press DaBaby in the shop and probably didn't think DaBaby would swing on him in public. But a fight broke out, and when it was over, DaBaby recorded Cam Coldheart laying on the ground with a bloody face and his pants around his ankles. Cam Coldheart claimed that DaBaby's security jumped him, but he definitely made the wrong move when he tried to press DaBaby.
Oh, bro, chill.
NBA Youngboy's been dealing with legal drama for years, but before he got locked down on house arrest in Utah, he always had goons trying to press him. Back in 2018, Youngboy's filming a music video on Watts when some dudes rolled up and tried to press him about checking in. Youngboy and his crew weren't about to back down though, and one of Youngboy's homies allegedly upped a strap at the dudes who pulled up on them. The other guys drove off before anything serious could go down, but that wasn't the end of the situation. A few weeks later, a dude who allegedly reps the bounty hunter Watts Blood trying to check Youngboy when he ran into him in LA. Youngboy wanted to throw hands with the dude, but his team held him back. The other dude said, "You bang for the fame, I gang bang." But even though he was talking crazy to Youngboy, he never really tried to make a move. Youngboy had drama in Chicago too, and while he was in Lenox Mall, somebody allegedly told Youngboy they were gonna take his chain. So Youngboy turned around and pressed him about what they said. There were a bunch of cops around, so the situation didn't pop off. But Youngboy was ready to handle it, and when someone was testing Youngboy at one of his shows, Youngboy sent his homie D-Dog into the crowd to put hands on them. Youngboy didn't want to stop the show, so he pointed out the dude who was causing problems, and D-Dog jumped into action. A lot of the goons who press rappers on camera aren't really trying to do anything and just want some clout, like this next dude who ran up on Youngboy in the street. The dude made sure his homie was recording. Then he started calling Youngboy a hoe and trying to make him crash out on camera. Youngboy knew what was going on though and didn't swing on the dude. Youngboy's crew tried to get the dude recording to put his phone down so they could handle it, but he obviously knew the only thing keeping him and his homies safe was the camera being on. Lil Baby has a lot of clout in Atlanta, but when he went to St. Louis, Missouri, some local goons tried to press him. Rumors said that Lil Baby was gonna shoot a music video, and the local goons were mad because he showed up late. They allegedly paid Lil Baby $30K for the video, and that's why they were so pressed about him getting there 4 hours late. It's not clear where all the drama really started, but Lil Baby didn't back down when the situation started to get heated. Luckily, nothing bad went down, but in 2024, 3 people almost died when some goons started shooting where Lil Baby was gonna film a music video. Lil Baby's team was getting everything set up, and there were a few dudes on the block who were acting like they were making their own video. Nobody knew exactly how it went down, but the dudes who were acting like they were filming allegedly started shooting and hit 3 people. The shooters took off in a whip, and then someone else started shooting after they were already gone. Three people got hit and had to go to the hospital, but luckily nobody got killed over it. Lil Rod's from Alabama, but then he started beefing with NBA Youngboy. And when Lil Rod got jumped at a mall in Atlanta, rumors started flying that Youngboy sent some goons after him. Before Lil Rod got jumped, he dissed Youngboy on the track Rookie of the Year and rapped, "I'm the Rookie of the Year. That pussy know, that's why he on my dick. When I'm an hour away at home, I'm riding with so many sticks. I throw a K behind that tray. Ain't gotta wonder if I'm on that shit. Nigga, I come direct with it. When you say my name, bitch, you better mention respect with it. And now you sitting on top of the mountain, bitch, I'm outside leaving stains. Soon as your brother and them pop out, I'ma make sure he ain't the same. Pussy nigga called me a rookie, like that ain't who changed the game." Youngboy was clowning Lil Rod after he got jumped, and everyone thought it was Youngboy's 4K Trey crew who were behind it. But it turned out that Lil Rod had beef with a crew in Atlanta called 4L. The 4L goons clowned Lil Rod after it went down and told him to get out of Atlanta. Then Lil Rod clapped back and said they didn't even take his chain.
And the nigga ain't take shit. Y'all nigga just stole the clothes I bought.
Lil Rod told the 4L goons to drop their location so they could meet up. But luckily for Lil Rod, that never went down. Lil Xan made a lot of people angry when he said that Tupac made boring music during an interview.
Boring music.
Lil Xan was catching heat from everybody, and it almost caused some real life violence after a goon pulled up on him at a gas station. The dude pressed Lil Xan for dissing Tupac, and that's when Lil Xan pulled out a gun and told the other dude to get out. The goon called Lil Xan a bitch, so Lil Xan pointed the gun at him again and said, "Look at my car." Lil Xan didn't face any charges, and after that he pretty much fell off, and nobody was paying attention to him anymore. But then in 2024, Lil Xan made headlines again when he attacked one of his own fans at a show. Lil Xan had a show in Boston, and at one point, someone in the crowd came up and flipped him off. Lil Xan started arguing with the dude, then he punched the fan in the head. But Lil Xan wasn't done yet. He threw his microphone at the guy too, and when the dude was trying to stand back up, Lil Xan kicked him in the face. Security tried to hold Lil Xan until the cops got there, but he attacked 2 more people and did the race. Now he's facing 2 felonies for attacking the dude, and Lil Xan's career is definitely over if he ends up in jail.
They say Soulja ain't from the hood. Hey, they say Soulja ain't from the hood. Get off me though. Oh, man, that's like me though. What's happening? Hold on.
Soulja Boy might be the goofiest dude in the rap game, and that's why nobody's afraid to press him. Soulja was born in Chicago, then lived in Atlanta and Mississippi. But for some reason, he started claiming to be from the Fruitown Pirus in Compton. Soulja started beefing with Chris Brown back in the day, and he went to the hood to prove he was really down with the Pirus. But when Soulja tried to put his arm around the dude walking down the block, the other dude shoved him off. Soulja put his phone down and acted like he wanted to catch the fade, but really he was backing up the whole time and hid behind some other dudes. Casanova also pressed Soulja in person because Soulja was talking crazy to a woman. Soulja didn't get caught on video yelling at the girl, but Casanova saw it go down and checked Soulja for it. He asked Soulja if he was high, and Soulja told him that the girl was talking like she gangster.
Why she talking like she gangster?
Yo, what you gonna hit the female?
I'm not gonna touch the female.
Alright, so why you scaring the female? You can come let this nigga do that, man. You somewhere you supposed to be on a big major platform.
Soulja's security stepped in, and the situation started to get heated. But luckily for Soulja and his team, nothing actually happened. Quando Rondo was all over the headlines when he got pressed by King Von, and King Von ended up getting killed. But that wasn't the only time someone tried to check Quando. One time Quando was at the mall just minding his own business when a random goon allegedly tried to check him. Quando was ready for the smoke though, and handled the dude even though he was on probation. Quando Rondo reps the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips on the East Coast. But when he went to LA, he got checked by a Hoover set for dissing him on social media. The Hoovers caught Quando at the mall and pressed him over the post. And it was clear that Quando didn't want any problems with them. A dude from the Hoovers named Alshon Martin warned Quando that he was gonna catch him and put hands on him.
This message is for Quando Rondo. When I catch you, I'ma beat your ass, bro.
The situation never got too serious, but that wasn't the only time Quando had problems in LA. A couple years later, Quando, his sister, and his cousin Lil Pop were in LA when they got caught at a gas station and 3 shooters aired out their whip. Quando and his sister didn't get hit, but Lil Pop tragically didn't make it out alive, and now Lil Durk and his crew are facing charges for setting Quando up.
Fuck Chief Keef's mom, he went to O Block, he served homeless in Chicago. Man, fuck Chicago.
Chief Keef made it out of Chicago and has stayed out of most of the drama, but he's still been pressed a couple of times and almost got killed back in 2018. It all started when 6ix9ine began beefing with Keef's homie Tato over Tato's girlfriend Cuban Doll. 6ix9ine was dissing Tato and aired him out for putting hands on Cuban Doll, and that's when Tato told 6ix9ine. Then Tato, Keef, and Trippie Redd linked up for the track, I Kill People. 6ix9ine was still rocking with the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods back then, and they pressed Keef on social media. 6ix9ine was taking crazy shots at Keef and the rest of his team.
What y'all gonna give me 48 hours? Yo, wait 2 months. Yo, this thing gonna die? Where I'ma die? Fuck Chief Keef, fuck Lil Reese, fuck all them niggas. Fuck y'all niggas talking about, nigga. This fucking Treyway, nigga.
But nobody expected what was about to go down. In June 2018, Keef went to New York and almost didn't make it out alive. While he was walking out of his hotel, 6ix9ine's goon Kuda pulled up and shot at Keef. Luckily, Kuda didn't hit anybody, but later he testified that 6ix9ine had paid him $20K to kill Chief Keef. Sosa didn't have any issues for a few years, but then in 2024, some goons tried to run up in his Glow Gang store in LA. A bunch of dudes walked into the shop in the middle of the day and tried to run off with a bunch of clothes. The cashier was on point though. He saw the dude snatch the clothes and chase him down. It's not clear what happened outside the shop, but the cashier got everything back and walks into the store like nothing ever happened. After it went down, people on Twitter were hating on the dudes for trying to steal from Keef's shop, and somebody affiliated with the store said they would have given the clothes away for free if the dudes really needed something. Stitches went viral with the track Brick in Your Face back in 2014. His wild face tats and crazy bars helped him blow up and run up millions of views. The fame didn't last long though, and people were exposing Stitches for lying about his come up and flexing a fake lifestyle. Stitches wanted to keep his momentum up, so he started beefing with other rappers to keep from falling off. He started off by dissing Jeezy and rapped, "Fuck Young Jeezy, I'm the real fucking snowman. Big Meech went up in prison and you went ghost, man." Jeezy never responded, so Stitches dissed Tyga instead with the track Kyga She's a Liar. Tyga was with Kylie Jenner at the time, and Stitches raps, "They call me Mr. Steal Your Bitch if you didn't know. Kylie Jenner, Miley Cyrus, cocaine in they booty hole. And you know my nigga Ink hit it raw, you pussy nigga, and you know I got them hands, so you better pull the trigger." That didn't work out for Stitches either though, so he started beefing with the Game instead. Stitches allegedly ran into the Game at a club and wanted a photo, but the Game wouldn't take a pic with him. After that, Game and Stitches started sending shots back and forth on social media, and on the track Game Over, Stitches sent more shots and raps, "I ain't got no sympathy for pussy niggas. Tyga and the Game, they some pussy niggas. And you beefing with Young Thug, he weigh 80 pounds. Fuck with a real thug, you get 80 rounds. And I understand why 50 Cent dropped you from the G Unit. The Game, he used to be a stripper." Then the Game clapped back in the freestyle and rapped, "I ain't fucking with you niggas. I ain't fucking with you bitches. Wait till I catch up to that boy Stitches." Stitches was finally getting the attention he wanted, but what he didn't know is that the beef was about to end his whole career. In December 2015, Stitches tried to pull up on the Game at a nightclub in Miami. Security wouldn't let Stitches into the club though, so he waited outside for a couple of hours. Game and his crew eventually came out, and Stitches tried to press Game, but Game's manager Wack 100 stepped in and knocked Stitches out cold. Stitches and Wack 100 both got arrested, but that wasn't the end of the story for Stitches. A few days later, Stitches got out of jail and his own crew jumped him. There are a lot of rumors about why it went down. Some people claim that Stitches tried to set his own homies up to get robbed, but Stitches said that the Game paid his homies to put hands on him. The real story isn't clear, but Stitches' whole career was finished after he got knocked out. Goons are always trying to snatch chains from rappers, but Lil Mosey might be the only rapper who got robbed on video with his entire crew. It's not clear what went down behind the scenes, but Lil Mosey and his team got robbed by some goons on camera and handed everything over without putting up a fight. Lil Mosey was just a teenager at the time, so he didn't get clowned that much, but then the situation got even worse for him when someone got one of the chains back for him and revealed that the ice wasn't even real.
I caught your bitch ass come off the stage with me and put you on the wall and made you sit there and and took your chain out of under your collar and you ran from me to fucking get your watch because I didn't see it, and you ran in the elevator with 2 chains and Dolph, but I gave them a passage to do my folks. All that, shout out 2 Chainz and all that.
Famous Dex came up on the south side of Chicago and allegedly got active in the streets before he started rapping. But that didn't stop a random goon from allegedly snatching Dex's chain at a show back in 2018. The goon who allegedly took the chain hopped on social media after it went down and said he pressed Famous Dex at the show because Dex didn't check in when he came to LA. That didn't make any sense though, because Dex had already been living in LA for months and never had an issue. Famous Dex's manager was allegedly gonna pay to get the chain back, but the dude who took it kept trying to get more. He went on IG Live again and said that he wanted to get a feature from Dex and $50K in cash and that he would hand over the chain. He probably could have got some money out of the situation, but the dude who took the chain fumbled the bag and Dex started clowning him on IG Live. And at the end of the day, Dex just went out and bought 2 new chains for $75K and told the Goons that he doesn't even want his old chains back. That wasn't the only time Dex had drama over some ice though. In 2021, the news broke that Famous Dex had been robbed at gunpoint and the Goons took a watch that was worth $50K from him. Dex had borrowed the watch from a dude he knew named Michael Francati to use for a music video. Dex took the watch and was driving to the shoot, and then he spotted somebody following him. And after he stopped his car, a bunch of dudes hopped out of the other whip and took the watch and a bunch of cash. Getting robbed at gunpoint is tough, but the real story about what happened made Dex look even worse. It turns out that the whole robbery was capped, and Dex had just ran off with the watch and tried to sell it to another jeweler. Famous Dex told Michael Francati about the robbery, and Michael Francati called the cops to get the situation sorted out. Then the police showed up and actually put Francati in cuffs, and Dex allegedly told the cops that Michael Francati is the one who set up the robbery. Michael Francati ended up suing Famous Dex and tried to get over $170K from the situation. Famous Dex never showed up to court to explain his side of the story, and in 2023, a judge ruled that Dex had to pay Michael Francati $49K for the stolen watch. G Herbo and Lil Bibby both came up in the streets of Chicago and made it out through the rap game. But back in 2016, rumors started flying that Lil Bibby got his chain snatched at a show in Connecticut. According to some sources, some goons in Connecticut tried to take Lil Bibby's chain during the show, and it sparked a huge fight in the middle of the club. A video of the fight came out later, and you can see Bibby handing his chain off to someone else before he started throwing hands. G Herbo, Lil Bibby, and the rest of their crew started fighting the local dudes. And later the story broke that they were actually throwing hands with the club's security team. A bouncer at the club later said that it all started when the younger brother of Bibby's bodyguard wasn't allowed into the VIP section of the club. The bodyguard's brother tried to press the club security team, but they didn't know who he was and kicked him out of the VIP area. So after the show was over, the bodyguard's brother told everyone what happened, and that's when Lil Bibby and G Herbo's crew sparked the fight. 504 used to be tight with another New York rapper named Ether the Connect. They had a major falling out after 5Yo blew up though, and Ether the Connect tried to press 5Yo outside of the Barclays Center. According to Ether the Connect, the issue started because he thought 5Yo was a snake. 5Yo was linking up with Lil Durk in the booth, but then 5Yo was allegedly dissing Lil Durk behind his back. 5Yo and Ether the Connect were having drama for months, and then it really popped off when they showed up at the same boxing match. Ether the Connect told 5Yo to meet him outside so they could run the fade, and that's when 5Yo allegedly beat him up. It's hard to tell what really happened because the videos of the fight aren't the best quality, but it didn't really look like either side did too much. That didn't stop 5Yo from clowning Ether the Connect on social media though. After the fight was over, 5Yo hopped on Instagram and said, "Bet you that big bozo nigga won't go live about how I punched him in the face outside the Barclay." Ether the Connect clapped back and said that 5Yo was addicted to cocaine, and in an interview with P Films, Ether the Connect claimed he was the one who won the fight. Meek Mill dated Nicki Minaj for a while, but after they broke up, the situation really went left, and Meek got pressed by Nicki's new husband, Kenneth Petty. Meek and Nicki's breakup got pretty ugly, and on the track 1942 Flows, Meek took shots at Nicki and raps, "Bloggers in a frenzy, truck to the Bentley, ain't doing no interviews, I'm busy nigga, we litty, so when you see me out, don't ask me about no Nicki." Then on the track Barbie Dreams, Nicki sent a shot at Meek and raps, "Meek still be in my DMs, I'll be having to duck him. I used to pray for times like this, face ass when I fuck him." And after Nicki started dating Kenneth Petty, the drama really picked up. Nicki allegedly blocked Meek on social media, and then Kenneth Petty ran up on Meek when he spotted him at a store in LA. Nobody knows what sparked the situation, but it definitely could have gone left for Meek if security didn't step in. A lot of people claim that Meek was never really in the streets, but Kenneth Petty is a wild dude who spent 7 years in prison on a manslaughter charge. Back in 2002, Kenneth Petty shot a dude named Lamont Robinson to death and got hit with a second-degree murder case. Kenneth Petty ended up pleading guilty to manslaughter instead, and that's why he was able to come home so fast after killing the dude. Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty dated when they were going to high school together back in the day, and then they got back together after Meek Mill and Nicki broke up. Rumors say that Kenneth Petty was pressed about Meek's bars about Nicki on his track 1942 Flows, and that's why he tried to check Meek in the shop. Meek Mill got pressed, but he sent his own goons at people too. Beanie Siegel is a legend in Philly, and that's why everyone was shocked when the news broke that one of Meek Mill's goons knocked him out backstage at the show. Meek Mill was beefing with the game, and Beanie Sigel hopped on a track with Meek Mill to diss the game. Then Meek's homie Tiffy B knocked Beanie Sigel out, and it was allegedly because Beanie Sigel was giving info about Meek Mill to the game's crew. Nobody knows what really went down behind the scenes, but sending goons after an OG like Beanie Sigel wasn't a good look for Meek Mill.
That's the YBN, nigga? Take his chance. Take his chance. Take his chance.
YBN Almighty J was never a street rapper, but in 2019, he got caught lacking by some goons in New York and ended up in a crazy situation. It's not clear what sparked everything, but Almighty J ran a fade with a dude in New York, and the other dude's homies jumped in and put hands on Almighty J too. They didn't stop there though. The other dudes broke some bottles and sliced Almighty J's face up. Then they ran his pockets while Almighty J was trying to get away. After it went down, Almighty J hopped online and said somebody tried to shoot him while they were snatching his chain. Then the goon who snatched his chain showed it off on Instagram and told Almighty J to come get it back. Then the situation got even worse for Almighty J because the goon who snatched his chain claimed that the chain was fake and said he wished he never even stole it.
Who did it? Who did it? Who did it? I did it. I wish I didn't. That nigga chain was fake as a motherfucker. Damn. Nigga chain was fake, bro.
Almighty J signed a deal with J Prince's Rap-A-Lot label, and his Rap-A-Lot chain got snatched too. That one was definitely real though, and J Prince stepped in to help Almighty J get it back.
Word on the street is that you thinking of going vegan, brother. But you can't be vegan if you keep wearing that fur. Shit, shame on Gucci, animal abuser. Shame on Gucci, animal abuser.
Before he chilled out and started spreading positivity, Gucci Mane was one of the wildest dudes in the rap game, but that didn't stop a bunch of goons from trying to press him. Back in the mid-2000s, Gucci was beefing with Young Jeezy, and it almost got him killed. Jeezy allegedly sent a bunch of goons to rob Gucci Mane, and Gucci ended up killing Jeezy's homie Pookie Loke and dumped his body behind the middle school. Gucci originally got hit with a murder charge over the situation, but the whole case ended up getting dropped. Then a few years later, Gucci and Waka Flocka were shooting a video in Atlanta when some random goon walked up and was trying to throw hands with Waka Flocka. Nobody knows what sparked the issue, cause Gucci and Waka never aired it out, but it seems like the dude just had issues with Waka Flocka and Gucci wasn't really involved. After Gucci came home from a gun case in 2016, he was like a different dude. He dropped a lot of weight in prison, stopped crashing out on Twitter, and was all about spreading positivity. Gucci is still ready for smoke and even had a little back and forth with NBA Youngboy. But the protesters who tried to call him out in 2017 are lucky they weren't messing with the old Gucci. Gucci was at a book signing when a dude came up and said, "Word on the street is that you're thinking of going vegan, brother." He dapped Gucci up like everything was all good, but then he dissed Gucci for wearing fur and said, "Shame on Gucci." A woman joined in, but Gucci just looked at them while security carried the protesters away. Lil TJ came up in the Bronx, repping a crew called the Slattery Boys, aka SB. SB has made a lot of noise in the streets and are so violent that they also go by the name Slaughtery. But anyone can get caught lacking, and Lil TJ got run up on by some goons when he went to the UK. Nobody knows what sparked the situation, but Lil TJ held it down and didn't want the cops to get in the middle of it. That wasn't the only time TJ got pressed though. When he went to Toronto, he allegedly almost got killed. Back in 2019, Lil TJ stopped in Toronto while he was on tour, and a rapper named Top 5 tried to press TJ about not checking in with him. Top 5 spotted TJ at the mall and tried to make TJ meet him around the corner. But luckily TJ knew that was a bad idea and he just clowned Top 5 instead. Top 5 tried to diss Lil TJ after it went down, but then TJ exposed the real story. Top 5 would actually be trying to get in touch with Lil TJ and was trying to pay TJ so he could open up for him at TJ's show in Toronto. Lil TJ didn't put Top 5 on the show, and that's why Top 5 got so heated about the situation. Top 5 was getting clowned like crazy, but even though people were dissing him, Top 5 was one of the most dangerous rappers in Toronto. Back in 2021, Top 5 got hit with the murder charge for killing a dude named Hashim Omar Hashi. According to the cops, Top 5 reps a set called Go Get 'Em Gang, and they're trying to clap back at the ops who killed Top 5's brother. Hashim Omar Hashi allegedly wasn't involved with the situation at all though, and he got killed because he looked like somebody else. Top 5 made even more headlines when he dropped a music video in jail for their track 21 Questions and rapped, "I was 18 when I bought a gun, 22 when I shot your son." Top 5 fought the case for years, and in 2024, the judge threw it out because some of the evidence against Top 5 came from social media, and the judge thought it was too shaky to make a case out of it. Top 5 beating the case was huge news, but then a few months later, he got booked on another gun case and is facing 5 different charges. If Lil TJ didn't keep his distance when Top 5 spotted him at the mall, there's no telling what would have happened. TJ made it out of Toronto without any drama. But a couple years later, some other goons caught up to him in New Jersey and almost took him out. Lil TJ was sitting in his whip with some homies when a shooter came up and tried to rob him. Both sides started letting off shots, and Lil TJ got hit 7 times.
Hey, this duck, boy.
Check it out. I got this glizzy.
FBG Duck was one of the most respected dudes in Chicago before he got killed. He repped the Gangsta Disciples and had major beef with Black Disciple sets like O Block. And Duck allegedly used to slide into O Block and put hands on them. Duck allegedly had some of the most dangerous hands in the city, and most people didn't want any kind of smoke with him. Duck even smacked one of his own homies while the dude was on live, and you could see the fear in his eyes when he realized Duck wasn't just playing around. Duck loved putting hands on ops, and on the track Exposing Me, he rapped, "These niggas mentioning Tuka, I fuck around, send you to meet him. I don't got my Glock, when I see an op, bro, I'ma beat him. I'm smoking Lil Steve, can't breathe. I'm thinking it's over. I wish I was right there when Lil Boo got slumps. I would've ran this shit over." Duck was known for his hands, but he was always ready to shoot too. One time he was driving around with a gun in his lap and spotted some dudes on the block. Duck had already driven past them once, and when he came back around, the dudes on the block upped their strap on him. But instead of driving off, Duck opened his door and told him exactly who he was. And when the other dudes realized who they were talking to, they backed down immediately. Trippie Redd came up in Ohio repping the Bloods. His older brother, Dirty Red, allegedly repped the Bloods too and was already rapping back in the day. And his death is what made Trippie jump in the booth. Dirty Red was killed in a car accident in 2014, and that's when Trippie started taking music seriously. Trippie got some momentum after he dropped his first mixtape in 2016, and that's also when he linked up with 6ix9ine for the track Pose 1469. Trippie and 6ix9ine linking up was big for both of them, but it's also the reason Trippie got jumped by a bunch of goons and almost got killed. Trippie started beefing with 6ix9ine after 6ix9ine sparked an issue with his homie Zilla Kami. Zilla Kami and 6ix9ine used to live together, but the beef started because Zilla Kami bailed 6ix9ine out of jail and 6ix9ine never paid him back. Then the situation took a crazy turn when Zilla Kami exposed 6ix9ine for groping a minor. Trippie started dissing 6ix9ine after that, and 6ix9ine clapped back on the track Gummo when he rapped, "In the hood with them Billy niggas and them Hoover niggas. You run up and they shooting niggas. We ain't hooping nigga. No KB, you a losing nigga. Up that Uzi nigga." Around the same time, 6ix9ine started rocking with the 9 Trades. Trippie's manager reached out to 6ix9ine so they could squash the beef, but 6ix9ine didn't want to stop the drama. Trippie's manager gave 6ix9ine the address where Trippie was shooting the video, so 6ix9ine brought a bunch of 9 Trade affiliates with him and they camped outside the location. When Trippie and his team left in a Sprinter van, 6ix9ine and the 9 Trades followed them for a couple of hours down the highway. Trippie's van pulled into a hotel, and that's when the 9 Trades hopped out and started putting hands on Trippie Redd. Right after it went down, Trippie aired 6ix9ine out for getting them jumps, but that wasn't the end of it. A few months after that, 6ix9ine and the 9 Trades went to Radio City Music Hall in New York to press Trippie about not checking in with them. The 9 Trades and 6ix9ine waited outside again. Then they followed Trippie's van when he left the spot. The 9 Trades pulled up right beside Trippie's van, and a dude named Shotty stuck his hand out of the whip and emptied his clip into Trippie's van. Luckily, nobody got hit, but that wasn't the only time somebody tried to shoot Trippie Redd. In September 2021, Trippie was on tour in Baltimore. He had a show and there weren't any issues, but when Trippie and his team left on their tour bus, somebody pulled up and started shooting the whip. According to some sources, it was a concert support crew on the bus, and Trippie wasn't actually there. Everyone thinks Trippie was the target, but the only person who got hit was the bus driver. He was rushed to the hospital for treatment, and luckily he made it out of the situation alive. But Trippie wasn't the only rapper who almost got shot because of 6ix9ine. Casanova and 6ix9ine have been beefing for a while, and 6ix9ine clowned Casanova for getting shot at in his own hood. At first it looked like it was just some social media beef, but then 6ix9ine and Casanova ran into each other at the Barclays Center, and the situation almost got deadly. 6ix9ine had walked Adrian Broner to the ring for his fight, and after that his crew ran into Casanova in the hallway. A huge fight broke out on the spot, and then Shotty told another 9 Trade affiliate to start shooting. Everyone in the hallway either hit the floor or took off running, but luckily nobody got hit. 6ix9ine also allegedly sent goons to rob Casanova and his wife after a show, but Casanova stood his ground and didn't back down when the goons tried to press him. Before 21 Savage popped off in the rap game, he was really in the streets in Atlanta. He got kicked out of school for bringing a gun, and then 21 joined the Bloods and really got active. 21 lost his brother Lil Tay to the streets, then one of his closest homies got killed too. 21 was neck deep in the trenches, and he shot the ops and saw his homie Johnny die right in front of him after they had a drug deal go bad. 21 got hit 6 times, then he took the shooter's gun from him and started busting back. After 21 made it out of the hospital, he started rapping, but that doesn't mean he lost all of his street ties. Even after 21 became one of the hottest rappers in Atlanta, there were goons still trying to press him on Clubhouse. It's not clear what sparked the issue, but 21 told a goon on Clubhouse,
"Every nigga that we beef with, nigga, 30 of they niggas get smoked, nigga, and don't nothing happen to us, nigga. In real life, nigga. It's real life, nigga."
One of the dudes 21 was going back and forth with was from Chicago, and 21 told him,
"Hey, look, Cap, you from Chicago. I advise you to shut the fuck up. I advise you to shut the fuck up, cause the niggas that I fuck with out there spanking shit."
And at the end of the call, 21 told him,
"Alright, look, you would die. You would die, nigga."
Fans thought it was crazy that 21 was getting involved with some beef like that, but 21 really survived the trenches and made it clear that he's not gonna let anyone play with his name. Even after 21 popped off, he was still ready to handle smoke by himself. And in 2018, he was strapped up at a pool party and was obviously ready to shoot if he needed to. Rich the Kid has been clowned on for years after he ran away from Lil Uzi Vert. But that's not the only time he got pressed. In June 2018, Rich the Kid was dating a woman named Tory and staying at her crib. One night, a bunch of goons ran up in the crib with guns, and they told Rich the Kid and Tory to hand over all their jewelry. Rich the Kid allegedly tried to fight back, and that's when the goons beat him so badly that Rich the Kid ended up in the hospital. A lot of people called cap on the story and said there was no way Rich the Kid would have fought a bunch of goons like that, since he was caught on camera running away from Lil Uzi Vert, but nobody knows what really went down inside the crib. Then a year later, Rich the Kid got caught up in another situation while he was at the studio. In February 2019, Rich the Kid was recording new tracks at the studio in LA when 3 goons attacked him and his homies. Rich the Kid and his homies were chilling in an alleyway behind the studio when 3 dudes came up and robbed them. At some point, shots started going off, but luckily nobody got hit. Usher was recording in the same studio that day, and rumors were flying that he got robbed too. But later the news broke that Rich the Kid and his homies were the only victims. Lil Durk started beefing with Tyga back in the day, and the situation almost went left for him after Tyga sent some goons to press Durk. Tyga and Durk were actually cool at first, but then Durk rapped about Tyga's fiance Black China and it sparked a beef. Tyga dissed Durk first on the track Chirac when he rapped, "Who the fuck is Lil Durk? I dust you like Ashton and Perk. Your flow whack, my flow crack. Got marble floors, your floor is cracked." Then the Game got involved with the beef. He linked up with Tyga for the track Chirac to LA, and Game rapped, "I don't fuck with no new niggas. They like to sue. No woo, nigga. Tyga hit me like Dirk dissing. Dirk Nowitzki? Dirk who, nigga? Never heard of these niggas." Lil Durk was on the West Coast making new music, and Tyga allegedly sent some Hoover Crips to press Durk after the beef started. According to one dude, he got the call from Tyga and went straight to the studio where Lil Durk was.
Cud didn't like that shit. You feel me? He called me. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm coming up there. Boom. As soon as I hit the door, I see everybody in there. Joe Moses in there, Chris Brown in there, Lil Durk in there. Everybody in there. And then I see Cub, but I don't say nothing. I ain't finna do none of that. You know, I ain't gonna Will Smith him in front of everybody. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I go back to the little arcade, you know, and record planning. I chill. I seen him. You feel me? And I'm like, hey, homie. I crossed paths with him, like, and I just looked up and I just seen him, like, hey, homie. Don't you ever, nigga. You feel me? Like, hey, nigga, don't you ever, you feel me? Again, nigga, on God in heaven. And he looked at me, he was looking at me. He was like, all right, bro.
Lil Durk also had some drama with the Game when they ran into each other at a nightclub in LA. Both sides were ready for the smoke, and they almost took it outside. But luckily, that's not how it went down. And a couple days later, the news broke that Durk had squashed his beef with Tyga in the Game. Lil Durk wasn't the only rapper that the Game was beefing with though. Around the same time, Game got involved with Lil Wayne's beef with Young Thug. Lil Wayne and Young Thug weren't just sending shots on social media though, and a dude who worked for Young Thug actually shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus. That's when the Game hopped into the beef and said he was gonna fuck Young Thug up. Game and Young Thug started sending shots back and forth, and Game said he was gonna beat the Victoria's Secret out that boy/girl. Then Thug clapped back and posted a picture of Game's daughter on Instagram and said that he wished she was his kid. Everyone thought it was a weird move, but then Game responded and posted a pic of Young Thug's daughter on his own Instagram. Young Thug's homie SB jumped into the beef and said he was gonna be at Game's neck if Game ever went to Atlanta.
Hey, Game, you bring your pussy out here, you gonna see me.
I'm at your fucking neck.
Fuck anybody.
SB has been involved with a couple of murder cases, and his homies were waving guns at the camera, but Game made it clear that he wasn't afraid of Thug's goons. The next day after SB made the video, Game went to Atlanta and started giving money out on the streets. The situation was heating up and could have gotten deadly, but luckily Birdman stepped in and helped Young Thug and the Game squash the beef before it got out of control.
Man, y'all won't believe what happened to me yesterday, bro. A nigga tried to snatch my chain. This bitch here on my neck. Please that. He ain't gonna do that no more.
Fredo Bang survived a crazy war in Baton Rouge and usually moves low-key, but that all changed when his homie G-Money's mural got tagged. G-Money was one of the hottest rappers in Baton Rouge, and his name got even bigger when he started beefing with NBA Youngboy. Youngboy and G-Money were really tight back in the day, but then they sparked a deadly beef that got G-Money killed. Someone painted a mural of G-Money to honor him, but then some goons pulled up and tagged it. It's not clear what went down behind the scenes, but the goons were so scared of Fredo Bang that they called him and apologized over the phone for an hour. Rumors said that Fredo put a bag on their heads and wanted someone to take him out, and that's why the goons were so afraid. Then in 2024, someone destroyed G-Money's gravesite, and Fredo Bang made it clear that he wasn't playing around. Fredo said he wanted someone to claim it so the situation could get handled, but nobody stepped up and said anything. That was really all just social media drama, but one goon tried to run up on Fredo Bang in real life, and the situation didn't go well for him. Back in 2018, Fredo Bang was spending a lot of time in LA, and some random goon tried to snatch his chain. We don't know exactly how it went down, but Fredo was laughing about the situation and said he's always got a gun on him, even if you don't see it.
Gonna want it, man. Can't be in the city doing all that ratting and shit. Rat ass nigga.
Gunna used to be one of the hottest artists in the game and had love all over the industry, but that all changed when he got wrapped up in the YSL RICO trial. Gunna took an Alfred plea and admitted that YSL was a gang, and a lot of people started calling him a rat.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am. Even Gunna's homies in the rap game like Lil Durk and Lil Baby turned their backs on him, and the situation started getting sketchy for Gunna every time he went outside. One time Gunna was trying to shop at the mall when a bunch of goons ran up on him and started calling him a rat. You can run into anybody at the mall, but Gunna probably thought he'd be safe at the BET Awards. But while he was standing on the red carpet in LA, a random goon came up behind Gunna and said that Gunna can't be in the city doing all that ratting. Gunna started rolling with security, but even that didn't stop random dudes from calling Gunna a rat every time they spotted him outside. Gunna bounced back in the rap game and ran up over 1 billion streams with the track Fuck You Mean, but he's probably gonna be getting pressed by random goons for the rest of his life. Mo 3 was tragically shot and killed in 2020, but he was having a ton of drama before he died. Mo 3 was from Dallas and had beef all over the city. He started getting into shootouts when he was 15 years old, and then Mo 3 hopped in the rap game after he spent a couple of years in prison on a robbery charge. Mo 3 started popping off in the Dallas rap scene, but he had beef with another rapper named Go Yayo. Go Yayo's goons allegedly tried to press Mo 3, and the situation turned into a shootout at a nightclub, and that was only the beginning of the drama. Mo 3 was also beefing with another rapper from Dallas named Yella Beezy. Yella Beezy allegedly got one of Mo 3's homies killed, and then a few days later, someone pulled up on Yella Beezy and shot him 3 times. Then Yella Beezy's team stomped out Mo 3's manager when they spotted him outside of a club called V Live. Yella Beezy was rocking with another rapper named Trap Boy Freddy though, and a couple months later, Mo 3 allegedly shot Trap Boy Freddy outside of the same nightclub where Yella Beezy put hands on his manager. Mo 3 was always ready for the smoke, and one time he pulled up on an op who had been dissing him on Facebook. Mo 3 recorded a crazy video where he was dissing the dude right to his face, and the other dude just sat there and took it. Mo 3 wasn't gonna let any goons press him without handling the situation, but unfortunately the ops caught him lacking in traffic in 2020, and Mo 3 didn't make it out alive. Rumors said that it was some drama with another dude's baby mama and didn't have anything to do with Mo 3's beef in the streets, and that's probably why they were able to catch Mo 3 like that. Mo 3 isn't the only dude who got pressed though. In 2024, a goon pulled up on Yella Beezy and tried to run a fade. Yella Beezy wasn't playing around though, and allegedly had a gun in his pocket. Yella Beezy told the other dude to swing, but the other dude knew if he threw the first punch, then Yella Beezy might up the strap and kill him. Yella Beezy allegedly swung on the dude, but the goon still didn't do anything because he was trying to throw hands, not get shot. Then a couple months later, Yella Beezy and his crew got into a fight outside of a courthouse. There are a lot of different rumors about what went down, but a lot of people think one of Mo 3's family members sparked the fight. Slim 400 was born in Germany, but his family moved to Compton when he was a teenager, and Slim 400 started rapping the Treetop Power Rules. He had both feet in the trenches for a long time, but then he linked up with YG and DJ Mustard and started dropping music. Slim 400 was making waves in the West Coast, but his family also lived in the hood, and that's how Slim 400 got caught lacking and was almost killed by some goons in 2019. Slim 400 was about to go on the road and do a bunch of shows, but first he wanted to stop in his old hood and see some family who were still living there. Slim 400 pulled up to his family's crib and hopped out of the whip, and that's when some dudes spotted him and started shooting. Slim tried to duck and run when he heard the bullets flying, but the shooters caught him 9 times and Slim hit the ground. He probably would have died right there on the spot, but luckily his family ran out of their crib and pulled Slim inside so the shooters couldn't hit him anymore. Slim made out of the situation alive and spent a couple of weeks in the hospital recovering. He got right back to the grind and was popping off in the rap game even more, but unfortunately, the ops caught up to him again a couple years later. On December 8th, 2021, a dude named Michael Terry got into a fight with Slim 400 outside of Slim's crib in Inglewood. It's not clear what the situation was about, but Michael Terry ended up pulling a gun out and shooting Slim to death. Michael Terry was already a convicted felon, and in 2024, he pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter and got hit with a 32-year sentence in prison for killing Slim 400.
Oh, they jumping Drake kids, yo! And they jumping Jay Critch, yo! They jumping Drake Critch, yo!
Jay Critch was popping off for a little while after he signed a deal with Rich the Kid in 2016. He kept the momentum up for a couple of years and worked with some big artists like Lil TJ and Offset. But lately, Jay Critch is only showing up in headlines when he gets pressed by goons. In 2022, Jay Critch was at a Halloween party in New Jersey when a fight broke out inside the club. Nobody knows what sparked the situation, but the fight ended up going out into the street and Jay's whole crew was throwing hands. Then in 2024, Jay Critch went viral for allegedly getting smacked with his own shoe by some goons in New York. People were clowning Jay Critch all over social media, but he clapped back and said it was him against 6 other dudes and they didn't even take his chains. The dude who put hands on Jay Critch clapped back and said he actually gave Jay's chains back to him, but nobody knows how it really went down.
Stop it! Hey, stop it now!
Back in 2017, Russ made a lot of people in the rap game angry when he wore a shirt that said, "How much Xans and leans do you have to do before you realize you're a fucking loser?" Russ was getting a lot of hate, but Russ said he was just trying to stop kids getting addicted to drugs. The back and forth went on for weeks, and Russ was calling out other rappers for making drugs look cool. And that's when Smoke Perp hopped in and said, "Shut the fuck up, you a bitch." Smoke Perp also changed his Instagram profile photo to a pic of Russ's sister, and that's why he ended up getting jumped by Russ's goons. Russ and Smoke Perp were both at a Splash Festival in Germany, and when Smoke Perp came out of the bathroom, he was jumped by 6 or 7 goons who were with Russ. Smoke Perp was getting clowned over the situation, so he called Russ out to a one-on-one fade with him. Russ and Smoke Perp never threw hands with each other, but Russ called Smoke Perp out again a few months later and said he was taking advantage of rap culture.
There are people like the Lil Pumps and the Smoke Perps and just the people who are using the fact that hip hop is the coolest thing to be doing right now. They're using that as a marketing tool to be buffoons.
XXXTentacion getting robbed and killed in 2018 shocked the whole rap game, but one of his homies almost got killed that same week, and most people had no idea. Lil Skies came up in the industry around the same time as XXXTentacion, and they were both in a new wave of SoundCloud rappers who were popping off like crazy. Lil Skies didn't have as big of a name, but he still had a target on his back because he was walking around LA with a bunch of jewelry on. Lil Skies was walking on the street with his homies and spotted a whip following them. Lil Skies knew something was up, but before he could do anything about it, a goon hopped out of the whip and stuck a gun into Lil Skies' stomach. The goon said he was gonna shoot if Lil Skies didn't hand over his watch, but instead of giving up his ice, Lil Skies slapped the dude in the face and took off running. Lil Skies said he was a couple of seconds away from dying if the situation went another way. And the worst part about it was that XXXTentacion's fans were telling Lil Skies that they wished he died instead of X.
And the crazy thing is, under this video, people are commenting, "Yo, I wish that Lil Skies was dead instead of X."
Getting a gun up that you was bad enough, but the hate on social media got so intense that it made Lil Skies quit using the internet. PNB Rock came up in the trenches of Philly, but when he started going to LA, he almost got lined up by some goons. PNB Rock told DJ Academics he was out with his girlfriend in the middle of the day and there were some goons following them around. PNB Rock said the dudes were talking crazy, but PNB was strapped up and he handled the situation. There was another dude who hopped on live with PNB Rock and said he was gonna snatch his chain off his neck, but PNB Rock just clowned the dude and laughed it off. It seemed like PNB Rock knew how to move around, but in 2022, he was tragically caught lacking and killed inside a restaurant. PNB Rock pulled up to a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle spot in South Central LA, and when he got to the restaurant with his girlfriend, a goon spotted him walking inside. A dude named Tremont Jones is the one who saw PNB rock first, and he called up his homie Freddie Trone and told him where PNB was. Freddie Trone didn't want to do the work himself though, so instead he sent his teenage son to rob PNB Rock. The teenager went into the restaurant and told PNB Rock to hand over all of his ice, but then the situation went left and the teenager started shooting.
Hey, Pablo! Bitch ass nigga! Bitch ass nigga! Anybody get that shit! We the real goons! We the real hood rich nigga!
Hood Rich Pablo Juan has been in prison on RICO charges for a few years, but while he was free, goons were running up on him all the time. Hood Rich Pablo Juan was rocking with a lot of rappers in the DMV, and that's how he ended up getting his chain snatched. Hood Rich Pablo Juan was rocking with some rappers who had street beef in the DMV, and he got caught in the middle of the situation. According to Hood Rich Pablo Juan, he was trying to squash some beef that one of his homies had with a rapper named Q the Fool, but when he pulled up to the spot, someone sucker punched him in the back of the head. Hood Rich Pablo Juan hit the ground and one of his chains fell off, and he claims that the goons picked up the chain and ran off before he could do anything about it. Then another goon had claimed he had robbed Hood Rich Pablo Juan and shut off a 1017 chain he allegedly snatched off of Hood Rich Pablo Juan's neck. Hood Rich Pablo Juan said nobody robbed him, but then a couple years later, rumors started flying that Hood Rich Pablo Juan had been jumped by goons again, and they actually took all of his clothes off and left him naked in the street. There aren't any videos of the alleged robbery though, and nobody really knows exactly how many times Hood Rich Pablo Juan has been robbed.